Holy crap, it's been a long time since I've done a spoiler review. Alright guys, so if you couldn't tell, I have seen War for the Planet of the Apes for the second time, and words cannot describe how much I love this movie. I loved this movie the first time I saw it, but my love of this movie is now even more so the second time I saw this movie. As I said from the beginning, this is going to be my spoiler talk on War for the Planet of the Apes. If you guys want to see my spoiler-free review of War for the Planet of the Apes, a link will be in the description below. If you guys have not seen this movie somehow by now, go watch it. I'm not going to go beat by beat of what happens of the entirety of the story for this movie. Rather, I'm going to do the major plot points that happen in War for the Planet of the Apes. So, final warning for spoilers. Now that being said, let's jump into spoilers of what is currently my favorite movie of 2017 so far. So first of all, as I said in my spoiler-free review, the movie takes place 2 years after the events of Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. As I recall, Caesar took out Koba because Koba pretty much betrayed Caesar, and it ended also with Gary Oldman contacting soldiers from the north to pretty much engage in an all-skill battle against the apes. And my guess is, I don't know if this is 100% correct, but my guess is that the Colonel played by Woody Harrelson was one of the soldiers from the north. But anyways, the film starts out with apes and humans both getting desecrated. And this brings us to our very first major plot point, which happens, I believe, about, 15 minutes into the film, which is the first confrontation between the Colonel and Caesar. And this was the first time in the entire film where I was like this. Oh shit. Those close-ups are not only for Caesar's face, but for the Colonel's face were just pitch perfect. And to top it all off, not only did they first meet, but it's revealed that the Colonel killed Caesar's wife and kid, which sent Caesar in a rage. And can we all take this moment to really just give a huge round of applause for Michael Giacchino's excellent score here? I mean, holy crap. Seriously, the track I'm referring to right now is one of the many reasons why I want this film to be nominated for Oscars. Seriously, it's amazing what Michael Giacchino did for the score of this movie. Caesar is about to catch the Colonel, but the Colonel cuts off the part of the rope where Caesar is at. From here on out, Caesar is on a revenge quest to take out the man who took out almost all his family. Thankfully, Cornelius, his youngest son, is still alive. Caesar decides to go after the Colonel despite that the other apes are heading to their new homeland. And not wanting Caesar to go alone, Maurice, Rocket, and Luca go with Caesar. And along their way to find the Colonel, they find this mute girl named Nova, played by Maya Miller, who I believe is a breakout in this film. Seriously, despite having absolutely no dialogue in this film, Maya Miller is incredible in this movie, especially in this one scene I'm going to bring up, or actually no, two scenes I'm going to bring up later on in the spoiler talk. But on one of the later scenes, we finally meet Bad Ape, played by Steve Zahn, who I mentioned in my spoiler-free review was an amazing comedic relief. And what I liked about meeting him was the fact that not only were there more apes just like Caesar, more genetically engineered apes, but the possibility of there being bad apes, legitimately bad apes, that have not been taught of the loyalty under Caesar's leadership. The apes and the little girl played by Maya Miller finally get to the border where the Colonel is at. Now, unfortunately, it's at the scene where Luca, who was protecting Caesar, got stabbed by a bayonet by one of the Colonel's soldiers. And Luca signs to Caesar, "At least I got to protect you." But the part that really just made me break down was when we see Maya Miller sit down right next to him, take out the flower that Luca gave her, and put it right back and gave it back to Luca. And, oh, God, oh. At this point, Caesar just wants the Colonel's blood, and so much to the point where Maurice says, "Dude, you're starting to sound like Koba, you're starting to act like Koba. This is not who you are." And Caesar says, "It was a mistake bringing you guys along. I am going down there by myself." Caesar goes down and he sees apes that are just hung up, which again made me tear up. Seriously, no movie has made me tear up so much since 2015's Inside Out. And right after this we get another scene in which we see the Colonel and Caesar face to face. Well, not quite face to face, but another confrontation. And I said this in my spoiler-free review, but watch this movie again. Every single scene that the Colonel and Caesar shared together was riveting, and it was just tension-filled. How the lights are set up in this scene where Woody Harrelson has his glasses on, or has his sunglasses on, how the light is reflecting off of Woody Harrelson, Oh my god. And plus, when you see into his eyes, you see just how much evil is in him. But at the same time, you can almost see a pain in his eyes, which we're going to go into in just a little bit. The Colonel's Fortress is like a concentration camp, but for apes. And seeing the apes getting tortured the way they did, it's powerful to say the least. And one of my favorite moments comes right here. The apes are working, they're clearly starved, they're exhausted, they're pretty much parched, and they're thirsty as can be, and this one ape screws up doing a job and starts getting whipped. And this moment I love right here. You see the camera focusing on Caesar. Caesar goes up, it goes around to him, and he says, "Leave him." That gave me goosebumps. There's a lot of moments I love in this movie. Every moment of War for the Planet of the Apes I absolutely adore. This is a moment right here that really shows how much I love that Caesar stands up for the apes. After Caesar gets whipped, the Colonel tells him, "Get those apes back to work." And Caesar says, "Only if they get food and water." And afterwards, the Colonel pulls a gun on Caesar, and Caesar just looks him right in the eyes, telling him, "Go ahead, do it, see what happens." And then Lake, who is Blue Eyes' love interest, Caesar's former son, saves Caesar's life at the last moment, getting everyone back to work. Oh my god, I forgot to mention this. I love how in this film that they do bring back Koba. Because as I said in my spoiler-free review, Caesar in this film is struggling against his inner demons. And his inner demon is Koba. At least I'm pretty sure it is. If War for the Planet of the Apes didn't even acknowledge Koba, I would have probably been really disappointed. But the fact that they did give Koba even more relevance was really amazing. It seriously made Caesar that much more of an interesting character. The next thing I'm going to talk about is one of the most vital scenes in the entire film, and that's the next confrontation between Caesar and the Colonel, played by Woody Harrelson. And this is where we explain why Maya Miller and another human who didn't speak could not speak, and it's been revealed that the simian flu had been evolved to the point where it made humans more like primitive apes, where they could not speak at all. And the Colonel was saying how his son got to that point, and Woody Harrelson, and this is the part where I was just like, god dang, he's a great villain. And it's where he hates the apes so much that he doesn't want the flu to spread, so much to the point where he actually killed his own son. When I heard that, again, a tear went down my eye. This is why I bring up the fact that the Colonel wasn't ruthless just to be ruthless, because just like Gary Oldman and Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and like Koba, the Colonel only acted out of fear to try to prevent this virus from spreading, which kind of backfires on him, sort of in a way, which I'm going to explain later. Now, the scene coming up next I'm going to talk about is, honest to God, one of my favorite moments captured in film history, which I'm going to explain right now. At this point, Caesar is starved, he is thirsty, I mean, he is parched, and it looks like he's just at the lowest of the low. All the apes have been fed, and the little girl decides to go into this little concentration camp. I'm referring to it as a concentration camp because that's what it reminds me of. So the little girl finds Caesar, and seeing that he's all parched and just broken as an ape, she starts to feed him water, and then, oh my god, this scene, it's making me want to cry listening. I'm sorry, this is one of my favorite scenes ever. And then we see her going to the apes, giving her food, and then as all this is going on, the score by Michael Giacchino builds up, which again, another reason why Michael Giacchino needs to be nominated for Best Original Score, seriously. Caesar has been fed, the ape signs him feeling better, and then all the apes do the sign of apes together strong, and then the little girl does it, and then right when I see this, I started crying like a little baby. Not in the bad way, but in that unifying way that made me go like, yeah! Fuck yeah, this movie! This is one of my favorite moments ever in film history. I adore this moment. Thank you to Matt Reeves for including such a powerful moment. Seriously. The first time I saw it, I was like, this moment's amazing. The second time I saw it, I now see it as one of the best moments ever in film. But, okay. Anyways. Okay, now I want to go back a little bit to talk about one of the funniest scenes of the entire film. And that's when we see that Steve Zan's the Bad Pit is discovered where the adult cages are, and the Maurice tells him, okay, you're gonna go up now. And then this Bad Ape is like, what? Oh, oh, no, no, no. And the Maurice just screams at him, which made me laugh so hard. Then Bad Ed was like, okay, and then just goes right up. That moment had me die with laughter the first time I saw it, and even more the second time I saw it, and I'm so glad the audience I saw it with was laughing their asses off. So at this point now, Caesar has started to evacuate the apes, but then another critical point in the film happens, and that is when the soldiers from the north do a huge attack on the Colonel's base. And when Caesar's about to leave, he realizes, nope, I still have a mission to do. He tells Rocket, go. So then Caesar goes up to see that the Colonel's place is in a little bit of a state of that's been very disheveled. And then he finally sees the Colonel on his bed, has a drink, his gun is with him, and it's been revealed that the Colonel has become to that primitive state. He cannot speak at all. Caesar grabs the gun, and again, one of my favorite moments of the film right here. He's aiming the gun at the Colonel, and the Colonel cocks the gun, telling him, dude, kill me, please, I don't want this thing to spread. And you can see that Caesar wants to do it, but then he takes it down because he knows that if he does this, he will really become another Kobo, which he knows he really is not. And then Woody Harrelson decides to do himself in. This moment was so powerful. Oh, God. I fucking love this movie. The attack is still going on. Caesar is about to throw a grenade at this huge pipe before he gets shot with an arrow right in his rib, which I'm not even joking. I wanted to scream this. Caesar is knocked down. Looks like he's about to get killed. But then the red ape, who is nicknamed Donkey, kills the guy with the grenade launcher. Just made me go like, yes! And then the human who was right next to him was like, what'd you just do? Takes out the gun and shoots the ape right in the head. And then Caesar knocks out the gas, takes out another one, and hauls ass out of the Colonel's fortress. And then at this point, we see this huge army that's going towards the base. So Caesar comes out of the little tunnel that he used to evacuate all the apes from. And as he stands up, all of the soldiers start to see him. But right as they're about to shoot him, a huge avalanche comes down. Now, as I said in my spoiler-free review, there was a visual effect that I thought was real. I genuinely thought the avalanche was real. I'm not even joking. It looked that good. That moment, that huge moment, besides the apes looking so good, is one of the reasons why I want this film to be nominated for Best Visual Effects. I'm not even kidding. I thought that avalanche was all practical effects. I'm dead serious. Caesar is able to not really escape, but to evade the snowstorm. And we see all the apes, including Nova, whom Maurice named the mute girl, all in the trees. They get to their homeland, their new homeland, and Maurice finally sees that Caesar is pretty much dead. And he tells Caesar that your son will know who you were and what you did for us. And then Caesar succumbs to his wounds. And then the score, of course, as the camera pans to the sky and goes black. Oh, perfect. There's speculation that Nova is actually Nova from the 68 version. I could speculate more, but I'm just gonna leave it at this. I loved War for the Planet Apes the first time I watched it, and I absolutely adored it. And I'm gonna say a statement that I thought I would never hear myself saying, but I genuinely believe that War for the Planet of the Apes is the next Return of the King, but for the Apes franchise. I adored this film. It's currently my favorite film of the year, and I could seriously spend hours gushing about how much I love this film, but I'm just gonna leave it at that. Alright guys, and that was my spoiler review / spoiler talk on War for the Planet of the Apes. Guys, please comment down, let me know below. What was your favorite scene in War for the Planet of the Apes? Let me know below. If you guys want to follow me on social media, I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm also on Twitch and Snapchat. So if you want to follow me on all those social media platforms, all the links and the usernames are in the description below. If you guys want to see my review of Wish Upon, please click right there. And if you guys want to see my review, my spoiler-free review, if you guys haven't already, of War for the Planet of the Apes, please click right there. And of course, until the next review, I will see you guys next time.